music with my bro. Willing to dig it, yes or no? Here we go on with the show, the Hear Me Out Bro podcast.
Hey everybody, welcome to the 10th episode of the Hear Me Out Bro podcast.
Woo, double digits.
We made it to number 10. Yeah, I was looking it up. I guess most podcasts don't get past their third episode. And the ones that get past their 8th episode are like in the 99th percentile. So we're up above rarefied air with the millions of other podcasts.
Yeah, it's like the 99th percentile of a million podcasts. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's only a few 100,000 of us that have made it this far.
So I'm Eric, and I'd like to welcome my brother Clark.
Moin.
And Clark's going to be running the show for us today. Going to be introducing us to a Dutch band.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to convince me that this is the greatest band in the world, and I should not listen to anything else.
I wouldn't go
besides
that far, but
I'm looking forward to this one. So I'll hand it over to Clark, and he'll get started with introducing this band.
thank you. Hey, everybody. Yeah, so to be fair, Eric's already heard a couple songs from this band. He's already heard them. I don't think this is going to be that hard to sell. This is kind of softball territory. And then I wouldn't say they were the greatest band in the world, but like, you know how when you're like at a bar or on a road trip or like hanging out with people and like, oh yeah, I don't like this band, or oh, these guys suck, or whatever, like blah blah blah. But then Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers come on, and everybody sings along, and everybody's happy, and like it's kind of like lowest common denominator has kind of a negative connotations, but like music that everybody can enjoy. Like if you don't like Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, like that says something about
You don't like music.
Yeah, that says something about you. That doesn't say something about them. And so I think this band might be like the Northern European version. I could be wrong, but it's like, yeah, do I think they're the greatest band in the world? I don't know. But
people where they're from, I'm sure, think they're the greatest band in the world.
Right. And I am actually considering, Eric is the one with all of the musical talent. I have zero musical talent. But I'm actually considering getting some people together and starting an English-speaking American cover band of this band. That's how much I like them and how much I think this music needs to be shared with more people. So,
okay, enough of a teaser. Who are we checking out today?
We're checking out a band called Normaal. Normaal. And if you listen to the playlist along with us, we're going to be the only ones speaking English, although there is a verse on one of the songs that's in English. So strap in. You're going to be hearing a lot of this kind of obscure language. Technically, it's in the family of Dutch Low Saxon. It's not Dutch, it's Dutch Low Saxon. A lot of Northern German speakers can understand it better than a Dutch speaker can understand it because it's more of like a Saxon Germanic language. Not that Dutch isn't also Germanic, but this isn't a linguistics podcast. But this is a special dialect of Dutch Low Saxon. So, like the region they're from is called Achterhoek or Achterhoek, and the language or this dialect is called Achterhoeks or Achterhooks. And
Yeah.
so I found these guys because one of my favorite heavy metal bands is huge fans of these guys because they're all one of my favorite heavy metal bands is from the same region. Is a huge fan of these guys. And when they were first starting out, this band kind of took them under their wing and were like super supportive to them. And they also sang in this regional dialect, and they do a cover of one of these songs. And it was like, oh, okay, that's a cool song. And then it's like, oh, it's a cover song. Oh, I'm a music nerd. I want to listen to the original version. And so that's how I ended up finding Normal.
Cool. Okay. Well, since we've gotten our normal introduction, let me give our normal introduction,
Oh, crap.
which I forgot at
Sorry.
the top of the show. No, it's okay. It's my fault. So if you want to listen along to this playlist, go to at HMOB at YouTube. And if you want to help us out to grow the show and to get more listeners and to share the good tunes, drop a little comment as you're listening to the songs on down the playlist.
Yeah.
Say like, oh, the Hear Me Out Bro podcast brought me here.
Yeah, it won't cost you a thing. Gets us more listeners. Shares the love of music with everybody.
Yeah, we'd appreciate it.
Definitely.
We're trying to grow the show and get more people listening to all the crazy music we like and support the bands that we like.
This might be an especially crazy episode. Putting that up front.
If you want to reach out to us and give us any questions, comments, show ideas, anything like that, you can reach out to us at hearmeoutbropodcast@gmail.com. And we're also on Facebook. You can join our group there, the HMOB. You'll get notifications of when a show goes up. Sometimes we put funny pictures up there or notes from the shows, things like that. So yeah, if you want to join us there, the HMOB on Facebook, go ahead and join our group.
Yep.
So with that, you want to jump into the playlist and we can check out some Normal.
Yeah, sorry for getting a little bit gung-ho there.
Oh no, I totally spaced on it. My fault.
No, good job running the show. All right. So I had a really hard time making this playlist, not for lack of songs, but for not just having the entire playlist be their first album. So I think the first 4 songs are all off their first album. So if you speak Dutch Low Saxon or any adjacent languages, apologies for everything I've tried to pronounce already. And apologies for everything that I'm about to pronounce for the rest of the show. So, starting off, first song on the list is Normal, Orend Hard.
That was cool.
Yeah.
I like that Amber Vista Light drum set.
Right.
I wonder whose idea it was to like blow all that hay around.
Well, that was one of the things that I didn't squeeze in before we actually did the intro. So this band, they're such a weird band, and I'll try to space everything out. So I kind of went down a rabbit hole, like in preparation for this episode, and it was like these guys didn't disappoint. So they blew all that hay in. I don't know what the exact reason is, but they kind of created their own genre. Like they kind of sound a little bit like a bunch of different bands, but they definitely have their own sound. And so they self-describe this as farmer rock.
There you go.
So I don't know if that's related to the hay or not, but
Maybe.
yeah.
I don't know if you've ever been in like a windstorm with like a bunch of straw like that. It's
Oh,
like
definitely.
it's pretty irritating.
Oh, yeah.
Stuff gets everywhere.
Yep.
Those guys are dedicated.
I delivered a lot of mail to dairy ranches over the years, and so yeah, I've had a lot of hay blown at me.
Oh man.
Oftentimes while listening to this band. So, but yeah, I guess that song is about going fast or like riding fast or riding hard.
Uh-huh.
About like getting on your motorcycle and going for it.
Yeah, I heard the one
Like,
word I heard that I understood was motocross.
a
Yeah.
lot of songs about motocross from these guys and
Nice.
motorcycles and like drinking at the cafe with your
Nice.
friends. And so this song like ends like with the crash. So
Uh-huh.
it's like go hard, but maybe not go too hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I I don't know how I'm gonna be like I don't know how effective I'm gonna be at judging this band because they live rent free in my heart.
Yeah. Are we gonna each pick our own, like each pick our favorite song and give it a score, or
I think
how do you
that
want to
might
do
be
it?
the easiest way.
Okay.
Like we'll get to the end and then we could go back maybe and
Well, we don't have to
like
agree on the favorite, but we could each pick which one we like the best.
okay.
I mean, unless we both decide the same song is top choice.
Oh man, it's gonna be difficult for me.
Yeah, I say we just each pick our favorite
Okay.
and give it a score. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, rather than rate each one, because it's gonna be so hard for me not to be like, yeah,
Yeah, it's a 98.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, musically, that song was cool. It's just like straight ahead rock and roll, and
mm-hmm,
guy's got a good, like, ratty voice.
mm-hmm.
Kind of reminds me a little bit of this guy, Chip, that I used to know that would, like, hang out and, like, sing with us sometimes.
Nice.
He's got a bit of a Chip vibe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's kind of got the like raspy, kind of tough voice.
Yeah, he's got the raspy voice, and he's got kind of the same kind of look, too.
Nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
that guy's got a unique look.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like this is pre-mustache too. Once the mustache
Oh,
comes
man.
in, it's whew. All righty. So next up is same band, Normal, and Ollie. Yeah, people at the front of that stage are very sticky. There was a lot of beer being splashed around.
Yeah, that was back when you could still bring bottles to concerts.
I think they might have,
Or, well,
yeah, or they
they
sold
probably
bottles
snuck them in.
yeah, or both.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, who knows?
yeah,
It's kind of like the Dutch version of that Bruce Springsteen song where he pulls the chick from Friends up on stage. She starts dancing.
right. Well, that was the '80s. Though these songs have all been off their first album, uh, from 1977.
Oh,
So this
nice.
is like farmer party beer drinker rock from the late '70s.
Yeah, it's probably where Bruce Springsteen got the idea.
Yeah, it's like, was she a plant or not? Who knows?
Well, was that Ollie?
I don't know. I don't speak
I don't know either.
actor hooks.
Yeah, that one was more upbeat. I liked the first one better.
Hmm.
Like that one's got some like kind of like a little bit cheesy changes in it, like chord changes.
Yeah, and then like that little
But it's very rock and roll still.
that kind of nonsense chorus,
Yeah.
but it's fun. It's like It's like a roller coaster. Like,
Yeah, I'm just trying to imagine being like the 77, like the same age I was when I was totally into AC/DC.
mm-hmm.
Like if I was like a Dutch, like long hair stoner kid, like I would have been jumping up and down like those kids in the front row.
Right?
Or like the Irish kids you see, like when they're doing like local like TV show things with Rory Gallagher.
Yep.
How they're just going totally bonkers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, high energy.
It's totally relatable.
Yep.
Yeah, even though I don't understand the words. It's like super relatable.
Yeah, but it's like Duolingo has to get their act together and have a actor hooks program so we can all learn that language so we can know these songs.
Oh man.
Come on, guys.
Yeah. I wonder if they spoke Low Saxon on Wiccafer.
I think that might have been actually Danish.
It could have been,
Because
yeah.
it's a lot further north. But it's like, it's kind of right there, like with Frisia. Like, I bet great grandpa Broderson, like, probably could understand a lot of the vocabulary.
Yeah. And he was a total farmer too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those are the kind of places I would want to go. Like, if I took a Europe trip, I'd want to go, like, hang out with some farmers somewhere, you know?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, too bad they're always busy working, feeding all of us. I don't work for the post office anymore. Oh, okay. Actually, no, I never actually did drink with those guys. Maybe I'll have to do that now that I don't work there. Some of the dairy farmers, like by the time I got around, like up on the hill delivering their mail, they'd be done for the day because they're dairy farmers. So it's like they start
Right.
like 2 hours before dawn, as they put it.
Were they Portuguese?
No, Italian. And
Oh, okay.
as they put it, you better be ready because the cows are ready.
Right.
They'll be there tapping their hooves, waiting for you. Come on.
Yeah, all the dairy guys I knew in Humboldt County, they were all Portuguese.
Oh, yeah.
A friend of mine up there, he said he would work for these guys when he was in high school because he would get up before school, milk the cows, and then go after school, milk the cows again, and just take care of them and stuff. But
Nice.
like he could do all that like on either side of going to school.
Yeah. Cows go out and nap and eat grass and chew cud.
Yeah, he's the one that told me also that don't ever drink store-bought strawberry milk or chocolate milk.
Why not?
Like, get regular milk and make your own because they use the milk that doesn't pass the color code or the color grading.
Oh, don't tell me that.
If it's got too much like blood or pus in it or anything, then that milk gets used to make the strawberry milk and the chocolate milk. So just buy regular milk.
Can't be true.
Just buy regular milk and buy like your favorite Choco squeeze thing or whatever to put in it, or Ovaltine or whatever. Pick your poison.
I don't like. I don't want to believe that for like FDA reasons. And it's like, if it's not fit for human consumption, it's not fit for human consumption. And then B, I don't want to believe that just for personal reasons. Because like one of my guilty pleasures is like we have the Strauss family dairies in Sonoma County, and like the Strauss chocolate milk is like, whew.
The bomb.
Oh yeah, it's incredible. So I don't want to believe that. It's so good.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Don't let the taint your enjoyment.
Yikes. Anyway.
Well, I mean, milk's weird anyways.
It's definitely weird. Yeah. There's a lot of stuff you have to not think about too hard when you drink it. Or consume it.
Oh
Anyway,
man, yeah, I can't do milk anymore. My friend Chip gave me a glass of milk like a few weeks ago. He knows these Mennonites, yeah, and this old Mennonite lady gave him some fresh milk, and I drank that stuff. It was pasteurized, but I guess I'm just lactose intolerant.
maybe.
Just yeah, it didn't go well, or actually, it went a little too well.
Yikes.
Okay.
All right.
Enough off topic, Banner.
Yeah, I need something to wash that taste out of my mouth.
All right. Number 3.
Number 3. So this is same band, Normaal. Ich bin ein Rocker.
Do you know what how'd they get their name?
So I'm not 100% sure, but when I was researching them in the Netherlands, there's like a phrase. The translation is basically like act normal. So if you see somebody like being weird or like, I don't know, like dressed differently or something, like they're not that like regimented a society,
Uh-huh.
but like, if you're stepping out of line, there's this phrase and it's like basically it's saying like, hey, act normal. And these guys like I think because they're like kind of traditionally Dutch, but like it I don't know. Anyway, this phrase is kind of like on its face ironic because Dutch people like being normal in the Netherlands is pretty weird because like the Dutch people are pretty weird, like these guys wear wooden clogs on stage, which is a fairly, at least it used to be a normal thing for Dutch people to do,
Yeah.
wear wooden shoes. So, like, if a Dutch person is telling you to act normal, like, it's a little different.
Do you know the word sabotage?
Yeah. Also has to do with
Yeah.
shoes.
Yeah, sabot is shoe, like Dutch for shoe. I guess like the thing to do is to take your wooden shoe and stick it in the gears of the factory to like sabotage things.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, like the other thing, like these guys started because there were a lot of bands that were becoming popular. Like when we talked earlier in the lead up to the show, like you mentioned Golden Earring, there are a lot of Dutch bands that like made it big outside of the Netherlands, the Low Countries.
Yeah, but they all kind of like sang in English and
yeah, they were going for a wider audience. And so these guys started with the like, no, like we're gonna embrace our Dutch weirdness. And so it's like we're not gonna sing in English and we're not gonna like, market ourselves as anything other than like traditionally Dutch. So
yeah, this one's cool. Like this one I can understand. It'd be I am a rocker.
yeah. Yeah, and it's like this isn't the best song, but I did like all the call outs to Elvis and Little Richard and Derek and the Dominoes, and even the Beatles.
Yeah, and I like how it ties into our last episode where we were talking about, are you a mod or are you a rocker? Like, and yeah, and in the time frame of 1977 too, we were discussing mods versus rockers, 1977.
Yeah.
So this song right here lets us know squarely where these guys stand.
Yeah, where their wooden shoes are firmly planted in the rocker camp.
Yeah. Yeah, if you couldn't tell from the motorcycles in the first one.
All right. I'm going to have to get a running start on this next song. And this is the last song from off of their first album. This is. Oh, wow. Okay.
You can do it. Channel your inner Dutchman.
I'm going to brace myself. Wat mans dan anders doen.
All right, let's hear it. I was trying to figure out, is that clavichord or is that harpsichord?
Or is it a guitar with a weird effect?
It might have been both.
Yeah.
So these last four, they've all been off their first album.
Yeah, this is all right out of the gate for these guys. Like,
Yeah.
not a whole lot of musical variety, but a lot of variety in that sound. Like they started out doing weird stuff, and like, and it was weird in a good way.
Yeah, I mean, I like how they keep it simple, though, you know?
Yeah.
I'm curious to see if the guy's voice changes, like, over time, too.
It does a little bit, but then, like, it kind of comes back. Like, they went through this, like, weird, not weird. Why do we keep saying that word? Because this band is weird. They went through this period where their stuff got a little, like, more, I don't know, a little less rockin', and then it came back to rockin'. So, like, I don't have as much stuff off of those albums. They're still good. It's just, like, the reason I picked these songs, like, I have no idea what that song's about. Like, but I listen to so many other bands that don't sing in English, so I'm used to, like, enjoying a song for what it is without having any idea what the song is about. Hopefully it's not anything bad. With these guys, it's probably about, like, riding a motorcycle or drinking beer or, like,
Yeah.
like, pretty lady. So it's all pretty tame subject matter. But it's like, I picked up these first four songs. They're all off their first album just because it's like I've listened to that album a bunch, and I'm always happy when I listen to these songs. And it's like, oh man, yeah, this song. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
it's
yeah, I
really
like this one.
upbeat, like,
Mm-hmm.
almost bordering on goofy, but, like, in a fun way, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like farmer party rock. What's not to like? You know?
Yeah, I'm part of this Facebook group called A Rustic Kager in the Woods.
Yep.
This would be like good rustic Kager in the Woods music.
Yeah, and so, like, hopefully you listeners are, like, starting to kinda get a feel for, like, why, like, an English-speaking cover band of this band might be, like, the coolest band ever, or, like, not the cool these guys are possibly the coolest band ever, but it would be really fun to be in a band, like an English-speaking cover band of this band.
It would be fun. Yeah.
Because, like, okay, it's all songs that, like, if you played at, like, before we recorded this episode, I went to my my town's Oktoberfest celebration, and there was a cool band doing a bunch of cover songs there, and I thought, man, like, it would be cool if like, what if it was all really good songs that you've never, as an English speaker, you've never heard before, but they're all simple and, like, sing along and upbeat, and it's like, by the time the second chorus comes around, you're singing along, like, you're already dancing, like,
Yeah.
I don't know, it just, uh, I'm really considering
Yeah, for me, when I played in bands, it was always like having fun was priority number one,
Mm-hmm.
like kind of at the expense of everything else. But
And that's
yeah,
that's the way it should be.
yeah. If it's not fun, why are you doing it?
I know we've talked about it before. I think we talked about it on the podcast. Like, I've seen Iron Maiden 3 or 4 times, and it's like those guys are having as much fun as the audience. Like, they've played those songs hundreds, if not thousands of times.
I think Iron Maidens might be playing right now as we speak
Yeah, my
in
roommate is
Sacramento.
at Aftershock right now. Yeah, probably listening to Iron Maiden right now. And it's like, you know, Steve Harris sings along to the songs, not into a microphone. Like, he's not singing backup vocals. He's just singing the Trooper because Trooper's a great song. And
Yeah,
so it's like the biggest Iron Maiden fans are in the band. They're having a blast. It's infectious. Like that, you feel that in the audience. And so it's like, yeah, if the band's not having fun, like,
yeah.
why are they doing it? Like,
Well, there's definitely bands out there that where it stops being fun and
right.
it just becomes like a paycheck or something. But
But you can feel it as an audience member.
yeah, luckily I never like had enough success to where I had to make that choice.
Right.
Like I guess like the guys in Journey or like they're on tour right now and they're like suing each other or something
Oh, jeez.
about like who gets to play what guitar solo or like what songs are on the list or yeah, I don't know.
Right.
Something lame like that. It's like, come on,
Oh, man.
guys.
So what you're trying to say is that you would have sold out, but nobody was buying?
Exactly.
Anyway, yeah. It's like, I don't know what that Normal song is about. I'm not going to try and pronounce it again, but
Oh
like
man.
it makes me happy every time I hear it. That harpsichord sound at the end is cool. That little guitar ditty is cool. Like,
Yeah.
I like it.
Are these chronological?
Except for the last two. Well,
Okay.
except for the second to last one, they're chronological. So this one is off their second album. This is Eva Lauti in Het Kippenhok.
That's a cool one.
Right?
Yeah. Almost an instrumental.
Yeah. So these guys have from what it appears, they have a slogan, but I don't know if slogan's the right word. Yeah, well, Wikipedia says it was coined by this band.
Is it a mission statement?
Yes, it's all of the above, but it's a word that they introduced into the actor hooks dialect. Okay, so huken, huken. Does this music make you feel like huken?
What's that translate to?
It means something like going crazy or having fun. Huken was invented as a slogan by the Achterhoek band Normaal. It's everything that is nice and trivial, a bit wild, as long as it has nothing to do with sex or violence.
Oh man. Well, there you go.
So, yeah, act normal. Go a bit
Yeah.
crazy, have a little bit of fun, as long as you don't hurt anybody or get anybody pregnant, as long as it's consensual.
So is this next one? Is this a Thin Lizzy cover?
It's not, but it sounds like a cover because it's not the Thin Lizzy Rosalie, which is a dope song. But it sounds like do the Beach Boys do this song? I don't know.
Hmm.
Here, listen to the song and tell me Tell me who does the original, because I don't think it's these guys. And this is one of the only songs where they sing in English. So
Ah,
this is Normal with Rosalie.
yeah, I have no idea.
But
But
doesn't that song sound familiar?
it does sound familiar,
Like, am I?
but I have no idea who that could be. I mean, it could be them, but it just sounds familiar.
Yeah, it's like, is it an original? But it's the melody sounds familiar, and Rosalie, like the chorus sounds familiar.
Yeah,
And
we'll
I
have
think
to
that might
dig
be
into
a
that one.
different
And
version, because I think on the version, the other version of that, they sing the last verse in English. Yeah, it's like, did I switch places with like another version of myself where like Julius Broderson didn't go that far from home? Because it's like that song reminds me of Mom somehow. Like,
yeah, like a weird
is it like an
alternate timeline or something.
Everly Brothers song or something? Like,
Yeah, it's got like a Everly Brothers vibe, but
yeah, and it's like the only other Rosalie songs I could find were like a song from 2008 and the Thin Lizzy version, or Thin
yeah,
Lizzy song, which is different.
yeah, weird.
Also a super cool song, but
It must just be their song. But yeah, it's just yeah, it's like an
yeah,
echo from the past or something, you know?
right?
Yeah, weird. How many times are we going to say weird this episode?
I know. You can say you can every time we
You
want to
can.
say weird. You can.
I am kind of glad we're doing this episode because, like, I want to do an episode on NRBQ, but
Mm-hmm.
I keep listening to NRBQ, like, just on I'll put it on my MP3 player or whatever, and it's like, these guys might be a little too weird. Like, maybe I shouldn't do an NRBQ episode, but, like, yeah, it's like the gloves are off now. It's like,
The gloves are off, and then I've always wanted to get into those guys. Like those guys are legendary, and like I've never really
yeah.
listened to them. So like, yeah, I'm looking forward to that episode.
Yeah, we'll do one. It seemed like every time you would go into the last record store, the
Mm-hmm.
owner would be playing NRBQ. It was
Right.
like his favorite band.
Yep.
Is that place still around?
Oh yeah, they're still there.
Yeah, I don't know if he owns it anymore though.
It's still independent.
Yeah.
So if he doesn't own it, somebody else local does. So
Yeah, I used to spend a lot of my paychecks there.
oh, me too.
Like kitty corner from the Pink Palace where I lived. It's like payday. It's like, I'm gonna go buy a couple albums.
It's down on Mendocino, like
Oh yeah,
north.
we're by the JC now.
Yeah,
Still.
north of the
Yeah.
JC now. Over by the what's that? The co-op grocery store.
That guy was all so cool. He'd be like, "Hey,
Totally.
Eric, check this out." Because like my girlfriend worked there, like on and off, you know, during busy seasons and stuff. Be like, "Hey, Eric, check this out."
Nice.
Always turning me on to stuff. You know, I had weird taste in music.
I found some cool stuff there.
Yeah, they also had such like a good variety.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Hoyt, Doug and Hoyt, opened in 1983 at 739 4th Street. Yeah, those guys were cool.
Totally. Yeah. So support local bands, support local record stores.
For sure. All right. We got another one?
Yep. So moving on chronologically, this is Humalo.
Nice. I like that one.
Yeah, that one's cool.
Yeah, it's got a lot of stuff I like stuff I've heard other places, but stuff that I like the bass line in there reminds me of the Graham Parsons version of Tom T. Hall's I Can't Dance.
Uh-huh.
It's got that same bass line that just keeps moving.
Mm-hmm.
And then the guitars have like kind of that Rolling Stones kind of thing going. Like, I don't know if they're playing in like key open G tuning or not, but it sounds kind of like they are. And actually, I recorded a version of I Can't Dance and I changed it to that open G key tuning. And yeah, like that bass line's hard to play.
Nice.
But yeah, I mean, that almost sounds like that to me. Also, the singer's voice, like kind of in the way that the guy from Crow sounds, but doesn't sound like Tom Jones.
Right.
This guy, I get like this little like whiff of Doug Sam, a little bit from Sir Douglas Quintet, Texas Tornadoes.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I can hear that.
yeah, like that grittiness and like the register that he's singing, and yeah, the way he kind of slurs stuff a little bit. Sounds like he's got a couple drinks in him.
Uh-huh.
Kind of that same energy as Doug Sam.
Yeah, so that song's about like getting out of the city, like
Nice.
getting fed up with the hustle and bustle, and city's such a drag. Too many people getting on your motorcycle. So apparently they sing a lot about Nortons and BSAs.
Nice.
That seems to be their two motorcycle brands of choice.
Yeah, Nortons are cool. They have a cool sound to them. I had a BSA for a little while. I don't know. I kind of swore off British bikes. We'll see how this Triumph I'm working on treats me. I might swear that one off too. We'll see. Time will tell.
Nice.
There's no cool old timers anymore to like work on bikes with or to like glean information from. Like back in the 80s when I was into bikes, like I met this old crusty guy that had like a matchless and a bunch of Nortons and stuff and BSAs and like out there in Sebastopol.
Right.
And I went and talked to him and he's like, oh yeah, you can't get head gaskets for those things anymore, but they're made of copper. So what you do is you just like heat it up to red hot and drop it in a pan of water. And that will anneal the head gasket and it'll be good to go for like another rebuild. And yeah, like, I don't know, I guess the internet's like replaced all that. You can just like
I was just going to say that I remember you telling me that story about that guy. And like, there was a guy who lived on my route who was also like, he had a garage and his garage is basically a motorcycle museum. Just this like super cool dude. And like, he told me what he did once, but now I forget what it was. It's like he'd always give me books to read. Like he was a voracious reader. And it's like whenever he was done with a book, he'd be like, oh, got to check this out. Like,
nice.
Are you like Patrick O'Brien? Check this dude out. And so it was like, I wonder if it's the same guy. Some of the details didn't quite jive. And like, I don't think it was the same guy. But it's like, there are those guys out there. And like, the internet has like brought people who have shared interests together. But then, like, a lot of those old dudes that are into cool old motorcycles and stuff aren't on the internet. So,
right.
Like,
yeah.
They're not there to, like, connect that knowledge to everybody else because they're just, like, curmudgeonly old dudes out in their garage.
Yeah, it's going to die away, like, oh, I can't find this old British fork oil anymore. Oh, use this automatic transmission fluid instead. You want to get this kind, and yeah.
Yeah, this has the same weight. I've used it before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the experience is like dried up or passed on, or I'm sure there's still guys out there, but
yeah.
you can find out everything you want about Raspberry Pis, but you can't like.
Which is cool. Like people are doing
Yeah.
amazing stuff. Like,
Yeah, it's cool. It's just, when they say all human knowledge is on the internet, it's not true.
yeah, there's a lot of human experience, but yeah, or wisdom. The reason why intelligence and wisdom are two different stats in Dungeons and
Yeah.
Dragons. But it's like, yeah, a lot of human knowledge is on the internet, or like all human knowledge is on the internet, but not all human wisdom is on the internet.
Yeah, not by a long shot.
But maybe all that stuff will come back.
Maybe.
You don't know. Like, could be a renaissance. Like, you can't have a dark age without a renaissance. So,
That's true.
so speaking of, this band got a little less rockin' for a couple albums, and then let's see what number is this album? So this is their fifth album, and they got back to rockin'. So this is their Dondarin.
That one's cool. I like that one
Yeah.
too.
Some of the lyrics are, "Hey, wake up, you bunch of riffraff! Who doesn't act slow? Who acts rough? Don't expect miracles from us. Who goes thunder in?"
Yeah, it's like has some nice surfy guitar.
Mm-hmm.
That saxophone was really cool too.
Yeah, the like thunder sound effects and stuff.
And the drums.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was a good one.
Yeah, more songs about riding motorcycles and drinking beer and women.
Yeah.
And like, oh, what's the other one? The mood is really good now. We want to fight a bit, but we don't feel like it. A nice beer, rock and roll with it. That's crashing out. It's
Yeah.
pretty good.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Let the good times roll, kind of. So this one's from the same album. This is Dot Mot Conan.
Yeah, it's probably their most rockin' one yet.
Right? Yeah, I tried to look up what the lyrics for that song mean, and I can't really tell.
Yeah, hopefully it's nothing bad.
There's stuff about drinking beer
Yeah.
and being hungover, but then I think the lyrics or the chorus is like, yeah, that word I know. Something about like sobriety. Like, yeah, I've heard of that word.
Yeah, that one's definitely the most rockin'. That slide guitar in there was cool.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like they're getting a little more polished, like at this point.
Yeah.
Like sound wise.
Yeah.
Like they're up to some of the same tricks as their first album, but it's like a little more refined. This one too, like it sounds like a song that would make me want to like get on a motorcycle and like jam out somewhere.
Right.
It kind of reminds me of a band. I want to do an episode on Rose Tattoo. Kind of has a little bit of a Rose Tattoo thing, like especially with that slide guitar in there.
Nice.
Like if it was like double the tempo, but kind of the same riffs. Yeah. And it had like Angry Ant Anderson singing, like little short dude.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yelling in the microphone.
Okay. Yeah, you played those guys for me. I forgot the name of that band.
Yeah, we'll do a Rose Tattoo
Nice
episode down the road. Yeah, Rose Tattoo is definitely a bikey band.
Yeah, because there's the Dropkick Murphys. song called Rose Tattoo.
Oh, yeah.
And then Lucky Old Bones does a cover of it.
Yeah, Angry Anderson, or Angry Anderson. He was Tina Turner's sidekick in Beyond Thunderdome.
Yep.
Like the little muscly dude that with like the shaved head.
Oh, man.
One of the great rock and roll frontmen.
Yeah, it's like you can tell a lot by who you rub elbows with, too. I just put them in my music app. The suggestions. Fans might also like Lemmy Kilmister, AC/DC, Bon Scott, Motorhead, Thin Lizzy, Girl School, Jakey Lee.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, yes,
Oh, man.
yes, yes.
I love Jake Lee.
Right.
When he was in Ozzy, like, that wasn't my favorite Ozzy.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, Jake Lee, like, the stuff he's done, like, since then is, like, some of my favorite stuff. And, like, what an awesome dude.
Totally.
Yeah, I think most people know Rose Tattoo from Guns N' Roses covering Nice Boys. Unfortunately, that's how most people know him.
Yeah, well, I found this band because Hideable did a cover. So, all right. So hopefully everybody's still with us. Hopefully everybody hasn't fallen off the back of the motorcycle yet.
Off the back of the tulip truck.
Yep. So we're going to continue on. This is off of the same album as the last two songs. Name of the album's Der Donderin. This is The Beer is Los.
Nice accordion.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad I put this one on here because A, that song is super fun, and then B, it's got the accordion, and that reminded me to talk about how, like, even in like the late 70s and early 80s, these guys were doing like reggae songs. So like some of their songs have kind of a reggae beat to them, or just straight up a reggae song. Some of them have like kind of a like a Caribbean sound to them, and then they do a lot of like almost Zydeco sounding. Like once they come in with the accordion,
Yeah.
like they do a lot of like Louisiana sounding songs. Like it's kind of interesting.
Yeah, I can see like a bunch of old timers like two-stepping around really fast, like
Mm-hmm.
going around in circles at the Elks Lodge or something to that one.
Right. Yeah, or it's like there'd be a couple people dancing the whole time, and then they play that song, and it's like grandma and the little kids come out, start dancing around. Yeah,
Like Molly's Polka Party.
exactly.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's just like how can you be in a bad mood after listening to that song? So good.
It's hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what the title means? The beer is Los.
Yeah, it doesn't translate Los. Like when I put translate, it just says the beer is. It's like, come on, what does it mean? And then it doesn't have that it doesn't have the chorus in the lyrics.
Well, I would like to believe it means the beer is cold and not the beer is lost or gone.
Yeah. Well, it's like I'll look it up and see because it's like because it's about like the lights go out, the show is done, the hall is empty, and
The beer is gone.
maybe. Yeah, it's all about like saying goodnight. Like the roadies have packed up the show and
The boar is loose. So I guess it means the pig got out or something.
maybe.
Now I'm really confused. Etymology, literally, the boar is loose, though beer is often misinterpreted as bear in this expression.
Right.
Pronunciation, oh, all hell broke loose.
Nice.
Used to indicate a chaotic situation. Hell broke loose. So the boar, like, yeah, the the boar is out. It's like,
Nice.
yeah, stuff's getting torn up. But then I get like even more confused because it's like pronunciation. Dutch terms with IPA pronunciation. So you have a term with the word beer in it, and the pronunciation is an IPA pronunciation.
Yeah, who knows?
Confusing, but yeah, it means like all hell broke loose.
Right.
The boar got out of its pen.
Nice. Yeah, then it's like compounded with the fact that it's like it's not actually Dutch. So like unless it's a phrase like that, we can't really trust the Dutch translations.
I'm sure it means the same kind of thing though.
Probably.
Place got tore up or something.
Yeah, they sound like the kind of band that could have rowdy concerts.
Yeah.
The boar might get loose.
Yeah, they don't get their cleaning deposit back.
Probably not. So, on that note, I know you've heard this song before because I've made you listen to it. This is off of one of their earlier albums. This is HMOBP. Now, so that song I know a little bit about.
Is there any drunker sounding instrument than the trombone?
No.
When they just like on the Andy Griffith show, like when the town drunk guy came in, when they just like break out the trombone and
I haven't watched that show since I was a kid. But yeah, that song's about like there was like a wedding party and like things got out of hand, but like I didn't see anything because I had to pee. It's like somebody giving a police report. They're like, I didn't see what happened. Things got out of hand. I didn't see because I had to pee. And then like somebody gets upset and speeds away. I didn't see what happened. I had to pee. And then it cuts to yes, the person that sped away must have crashed or something. Because then they're at a funeral and things get out of hand. And he didn't see anything. So he had to pee.
oh man,
Yeah.
that's the perfect excuse.
Yeah.
Who's gonna argue with that?
I was in the pisser.
Hey, I didn't see a thing.
I was pissing.
I was occupied.
Yep.
The boar got out.
Yeah.
I wasn't around to see it.
I'd help you clean up, but I'm not responsible for any of this. I was
in the can.
occupado. All right. So the last song on the playlist is the first song I ever heard from these guys. One of my favorite bands of all time, Heidevolk, does a heavy metal cover of this song. This is Vulgaris Magistralis.
Oh man,
Please explain this.
we haven't. Yeah, we started
tell
off
us more
saying
about
weird a lot, and then we laid off weird for a while. But it's like now we're like back to like even weirder. Oh man, what's with like the Dracula fangs and stuff?
Yeah.
Oh. No, come on, you got to explain more. Well, like, what is going on there?
Well, so that song's about like a barbarian caveman guy, like
Uh-huh.
riding around on his mastodon. Yeah, it's just
Excellent.
just kooky stuff.
Oh man.
Yeah, so that's how I was introduced to these guys. So it was like,
Oh man.
oh,
What a point
okay,
of entry.
right.
Are they like Dutch spice pirates or like
I don't know, man.
or is
Like I was just thinking, like you know, in movies where they're like band movies where it's like, oh, hey, like I always wanted to start a band. Oh, like let's get all the guys from the neighborhood, and then there's like, we signed up for this contest or whatever, like School of Rock or uh Heavy Trip. Like there's all those like it's kind of a tropey like band movie kind of thing where it's like we're going to get this band together and we're going to enter into this contest or like somebody signed us up for this contest. Okay, this is our big shot.
Uh-huh.
And then there's like the pretty boy band or like the popular band or whatever and they win, but like the fans really like that, like the main character band.
Yeah, the second place band gets the encore, even though the other guys walk
Exactly.
away with the oversized check and the trophy or whatever,
Yeah,
or the
so it's like
record deal.
they win the contest, but they're like they're the rival band, and like
Yeah, the
the
fan
movie's not
favorite.
about them. Yeah,
Yeah.
so Normal has like big second place band energy that it's
Oh
like,
man. Second place band energy.
okay, well, like this other band, like yeah, their singer's really hot, and like oh, their guitar player like went to wherever guitar school, and he trained under Yngwie Malmsteen or whatever, and
Yeah.
oh
Yeah.
they've got all the things, and it's like okay, yeah, they're more radio friendly. They're gonna get the record deal, but like everybody there is like, well, could we have the hometown band come
Yeah,
back on?
I only ever played one Battle of the Bands, and like we lost. Like
Mhm.
this other band won, but then that band broke up between like that round and the next round. So
Oh
they
dang.
were like, "Oh yeah, the band that won broke up. Could we have you guys back?" So like we already went in knowing we were like that second place kind of band. And
Nice.
so we just like fully like de beer is
Oh
los.
yeah.
Yeah, we just totally let the boar loose.
Yeah, nice.
That was back during the period where every place we played, they would only let us play once. So it'd be like, "Oh, you guys sound great, but and you guys are a great band, but our the bartender couldn't take any drink orders while you guys were playing, so we can't, you can't play here ever again."
Oh man.
Yeah. Normal.
Yeah. What do you think of those guys?
That last song was not very normal, but I guess it was for them.
That's the whole point of that band.
Yeah.
Being kooky is
Yeah, that
normal.
was outrageous. That was awesome. Big old like cow femurs or something for drumsticks, whatever those were.
Yeah, well, Benny was playing those big, what are they? Are those toms with the big giant, big tall ones?
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, this might have just been like barrels or something.
no, I think they were drums. They just had skull and crossbones painted on them,
Yeah.
spray painted. But
Well, he started out with that hat with the skull and crossbones on it,
oh yeah,
and
yeah.
then we wrap it up with the skull and crossbones on the
Well, I think
giant
the actual
drums.
drummer was playing with some kind of cow bones. But then Benny
Yeah.
had big rawhide, like chew
Something.
bones,
Yeah.
like Great Dane chew bones.
Oh man. Yeah, that was nuts.
Yeah, so
Oh, what's with the Dracula teeth?
I don't know.
Just crazy.
Yeah, it's like what's with anything in that song? Like that whole stage is
Oh,
just what the heck?
yeah, some effort went into that whole set there.
Yeah, it looks like something you'd see at the county fair.
Yeah, or like a high school play or
Yeah,
something.
it has like fun house vibes.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, So what did you think of that? What do you think of Normal?
They're pretty cool. I need to hear some of their other stuff too. Check them out.
Yeah, it's like all their songs are really good. Yeah, they just have a cool vibe.
One of their concerts must be fun.
Yeah,
Just getting together with the rest of the locals and just tearing things up. And
yeah, like one of the live concerts I've seen on YouTube. I can add it in the playlist. It's like outside. It's like in a field somewhere. They just have like a stage set up and like the people are just like dancing in grass and stuff. But like they all come out on stage like wearing clogs, wearing wooden shoes.
oh man,
And then it's just like everybody starts rocking out. It's like, oh man, that looks like a good time. Like,
yeah. Don't they do a lot of like? Well, I don't think they play anymore. I think one of the guys passed away or something. But
yeah,
they would always do a lot of charity kind of stuff, and they'd get back together to do fundraisers and stuff.
yeah. And they were one of the first bands to do like carbon neutral kind of environmentally friendly tours and stuff.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah, and then it's like, yeah, they do a lot of charity stuff, and like they came out of retirement for a couple of years to like do charity stuff. Just totally rad.
Yeah, yeah. So is that last song going to be your favorite pick?
I mean, it's the first one I heard, but yeah, I don't think it's my favorite song of theirs.
It's a little too nutty.
It's pretty nutty.
I could see why somebody did a metal cover of it though.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite on the list?
So hard.
I have a favorite. Mine would be
Well, hang on. Let me pick one
okay.
just so you don't. So you've got yours locked in.
Yeah, I'm locking in my
Because it's like
answer.
the first song, the Orient Hard, like that song just rips. And it's
Yeah,
like
that is a good one.
that's like the first song on their first album. Like,
Yeah, it's a good way to kick off the playlist
man,
too.
yeah, Der Donderen is rad. The Beer is Lost is rad. Okay, it's like kind of between those three. But then like the Humalo is really good too. Like it just has a cool vibe. Man, I don't know. All right. Yeah, it's Der Donderen. It's my pick.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that was one I was considering, but I like. Oh man, yeah, there's a couple good ones. I like that Boar is Loose one.
Hmm.
That was the one with the accordion, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one was cool. But probably my favorite is Dot Mout Conan,
Mm-hmm.
the one with the slide, the one, yeah, the one that kind of reminded me of Rose Tattoo a little bit.
Right.
Because the way I see these guys, they're kind of they're like the farmer biker, like a local band.
Hmm.
And to me, that song just kind of best captured the feeling of that,
Yeah.
the bikiness of it.
Hmm.
So yeah, that one's going to be my favorite.
Nice. Yeah, those are both off the same album.
Yeah, the three I was considering were all off that same album, so I'm going to have to check that one out.
Yeah, that might have been the first album.
From Der Donden.
That might have been the first album that I actually got and listened to after hearing that Vulgaris Magistrala.
Oh, cool.
Like after being introduced to that band, I was like, okay, check this one out, check that one out. This one's got a cool album cover. What's that? Oh, that song's cool.
So you picked Der Donderen.
Yeah,
What kind of score were you going to give it?
I'll give it a 90.
Okay, that's what I was thinking too. For the one I picked, Dot Moat Conan.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm thinking 90. Yeah, these guys would be fun on a road trip mixtape or something.
Yeah, and it's like, give me a minute to count this. 2, 4, 6, 2, 4. They have 28 studio albums.
Wow.
So
Well,
tip
we
of the
only heard
iceberg.
like maybe 5 or 6 of them tonight.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, it's a deep well to check out.
Yeah, and they have 5 studio albums, bunch of different best ofs. Yeah. It's like it
Hmm.
these guys are a deep well, man. There's a farm with a lot of acreage.
Yeah, I'm getting older, but I always think I should learn like another language, just to like instead of doing crossword puzzles or something.
Uh-huh. Yeah, and it's like, there are a lot of reasons. Like when I worked for the post office, like a lot of times I really wish I knew more Spanish. I know a little bit of Spanish, but it's like, I took 2 or 3 years of French in high school. I've never used it for anything. And it's like, man, like so many people took Spanish in high school, and it's like I could really use that right now. Why didn't I take
Yeah.
Spanish? And then it's like, oh man, like learning Gaelic or like Irish would be really cool. Like learning German would be fun. It's like I tried really hard to learn German, but like the way the verbs work in German, it's like false friend isn't the right word or isn't the right term. Like the present tense verbs in German sound like past tense verbs in English.
Hmm.
And so it was like just too hard for my little pea brain to grasp. And so it's like every time I've learned or tried to learn a language, it was like there's always kind of like, oh well, this would be a handy language to know. And it's like, would actor hooks be a handy language to know? Not at all.
No,
Would
not
it
at all.
would it be a super rad language to learn? Absolutely. Like,
Well, it might be worth it to know just for that one time you do meet somebody
uh-huh.
who speaks it. If you get like,
You were gonna have a beer drinking friend for life.
yeah.
You're the one American they meet
Oh man.
that speaks this weird language, weird dialect from up in the hills.
Yeah, I learned like Pigeon Hawaiian like
Oh yeah.
passably when I lived over there.
Hmm.
And I pretend like I don't know Spanish, so like my wife and my mother-in-law can talk about me behind my back. But, but
Hey, they talked about me last time I was up here. Hmm.
yeah, they do that.
It was like they were speaking English and then like they started speaking in Spanish and they were looking at me. It's like,
Yeah.
all right,
Yeah, that happens. Like
Anna, what's your mom
uh,
saying?
yeah, for that neat reason I've never wanted to learn Spanish. One of those things like I'd rather not know. Even though I
Right?
know a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like I know enough to get in trouble that it's like, yeah, it's like the Hernandezes out on my route. We're like this super rad family. I remember talking to them every once in a while. Be like, hola. They'd start talking. I was like, they'd ask me if I spoke Spanish. I'd be like, poquito. They'd still try to talk to me and be like, muy.
Muy piquito. Yeah, that was an interesting one.
Yeah.
Now I feel a little more comfortable, like bringing out some weirdo bands. We will do an episode of like just straight up weird, like how did I title it? Got it on the list here. Yeah, just weirdest bands.
Nice.
So coming up next, I'm going to be doing a convincer episode, and the band I'm choosing is the Mugs. So we'll check them out next week. And then our last episode for October is going to be spooky Halloween songs. So we'll have a spooky Halloween playlist up. If you're doing a party or anything, you can throw that playlist up.
Nice.
Entertain your party goers or have something to listen to while you're waiting around to hand out candy or whatever you're up to on Halloween.
Yeah, because the people you invite to the party probably aren't going to want to listen to Normaal.
Probably not, unless you're partying and
That's true.
at your hooks or wherever.
Yeah, or just tell them to keep drinking.
Yeah.
Are they speaking English? What are they saying? Just keep drinking. You'll understand it.
Yeah, it'll make sense. All right. Well, I think that's it for this week. Should we sign out?
Sure.
Was there anything else you wanted to add about farming or spice pirates?
Yeah, it's like, it would have been super fun to see these guys live. Like, that's part of what makes me want to start a cover band for these guys. Because it's like, they have that up tempo, like high energy, like feel. And so it's like, yeah, you can't just like sit and listen to these guys. Like, they're not yes. You're not going to sit in your egg chair with your like super hi-fi headphones on. And
Yeah, your quadraphonic headphones.
But it's like, you got to be doing something. You got to be moving somehow, whether it's dancing or like riding a motorcycle or even riding a bicycle.
Or mucking out stalls.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be good mucking out stalls music.
Baling
Yeah.
hay.
Yeah, so it's like every time I've like been on a super long bike ride, and it's just like I put these guys on and just play all. It's like you always come back feeling like super, super happy and super good.
Yeah, it's a good pedaling tempo
Mhm.
too. 90 beats per minute or whatever.
Yeah, so hopefully everybody liked those guys, because they're definitely a strange band. But yeah, it's like once I found out about them, it was like, more people need to hear these guys. There's something else.
Yeah, you'll either love them or you'll hate them,
Mhm.
or you'll just be indifferent to
Mhm.
them. But I'm sure somebody out there is going to become a Normaal fan.
Hopefully. I can make at least
Yeah.
one more.
Yeah, well, we hope everybody enjoyed
Yeah.
that one, and hope everybody has a good week. And take care.
Thanks for listening.
And yeah, thanks for listening. All right, bye.
Bye.
Checking out music with my bro. Will it dig it? Yes or no? Here